Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today to discuss the basics of DPAs. We appreciate FMLS for giving us this opportunity to show you how we bring down payment assistance programs to the forefront in partnership with your MLS. And the goal today is for you to leave this webinar with a full understanding of how down payment resource works inside of your MLS and how to access all the rest of the tools and features we provide to you for free. So first, I want to give you a little bit of information about who we are. Down Payment Resource was launched in 2008 to solve a problem that really drove a lot of people in real estate and mortgage lending crazy. There was no easy way to find and track homebuyer programs. So DPR developed an easier way to connect eligible borrowers with hard to find resources like DPAs, grants, MCCs, and other assistance. We provide tools and down payment assistance program information for real estate agents, loan officers, and really ultimately the consumers to help all of you find and understand the down payment solutions out there for your buyers. Ultimately, we're here to help you connect home buyers to the down payment help that they need so that they can get into a home. So, right up front, what does all of this cost? Well, down payment resource is absolutely free to you as part of our partnership with FMLS. So that means absolutely no upsells or freemium models or any additional costs. And this is actually already available to you. You don't have to do anything to activate it. It's just sitting there waiting for you to access. And today, um, what we're going to do is not sell you anything, but we're wanting to show you how to use these tools that you already have at your fingertips. So today we're going to discuss the basics of loans, grants, tax credits, and other programs that can help eligible buyers achieve the down payment faster, cover their closing costs, and get them into a home sooner than they would have otherwise. Let's discuss quickly, though, the current state of home buyer assistance programs. Of all the home buyer programs out there, currently about 73% are some form of down payment or closing cost assistance. Keep in mind that's really a catch-all category, though, and we're going to dig a little deeper into that later. But and we discussed this in another webinar we did last month. But it's important to know that not all DPAs are the same. So, for an example, 81% currently have deferred payments, meaning you don't have a monthly payment on the DPA loan for some period of time. 54% are forgivable, either in part or in full, which essentially makes them become a grant over time. And 51% are both deferred and forgivable. Then there are still other DPAs that are either true grants at closing or are repayable monthly after closing. But keep in mind, we're also talking about the affordable first mortgages and tax credits or mortgage credit certificates that are out there for your buyers too. So it's a common myth for people to think that down payment programs aren't available in specific areas. However, down payment programs are in fact available everywhere. High cost markets, low cost markets, urban, rural, every state has a housing finance agency whose programs are available statewide, plus all the local programs in each market. Income and price limits are also market adjusted based on median incomes and median prices in that market. So you end up seeing higher limits in higher cost markets. On this graph, or I'm sorry, on this image on the screen, you can see the states with the greatest number of programs. But there is literally no county in the country where some kind of help isn't available. So, who funds and administers these programs? I mentioned before that every state has at least one housing finance agency, like Georgia Department of Community Affairs, who offers a wide array of programs in Georgia. In addition to state agencies, city and county governments also often have community or economic development departments or housing authorities. And a number of nonprofits, such as like NeighborWorks, Neighborhood Housing Services, and others, operate in markets across the country with varying programs. Many employers, like municipal governments, hospitals, and universities, also offer their employees down payment assistance. And there are community action agencies, land trusts, and so many other organizations out there that are all trying to open new doors to home ownership and promote housing growth and responsibility in their market, in your market. And they currently all have funded available down payment assistance programs. So let's take stock of the current DPA trends in the US. Currently, demand for DPAs is absolutely through the roof. So, DPA providers are increasing assistance amounts, income limits, and purchase price limits to help more buyers in today's market. DPA providers are expanding the eligible uses of their funds as well as inventory options also. And in fact, our recent Quarter 3 2024 Home Ownership Program Index report showed that the total number of programs increased by 29, which raised the total number of programs across the US that are offered to 2,444. That's 192 more programs than a year ago at this time. We also found that the amount of DPAs that can be used towards the purchase of multifamily properties grew by another 7% this quarter. So that equates to about 777 programs that allow for multi-unit properties. So new state and local programs are continuing to launch in those markets nationwide. And currently, about 81% of all DPAs are funded and available. There's really so much more attention on affordability and down payment assistance now than there have been in many years. And these programs are widely available and not going away. So now let's take a quick look at what's available in your market in Greater Atlanta. So currently, these stats were just pulled yesterday and today. There are 87 total programs. Of those programs, 75 are funded, and they come from a total of 44 different agencies. We have income limits up to $207,000 across the state. Now, there are going to be some nuances and some unique programs out there that have higher income limits, higher purchase price limits, and things like that for unique situations, right? But the average income limit is up to 207,000. And then purchase price limits, we showed those going up to 806,000 or higher in some of those unique cases. Down payment help ranges from about 5,000 to 30,000 or higher. And once again, there are unique situations where that down payment assistance amount can be much higher. So prices can be higher also in targeted areas. And keep in mind that the stats that I pulled are just for single unit properties. So as we talked about before, there are some programs that support multi-unit properties. And in those cases, those limits are going to be increased for those as well. It is tough to get an average assistance amount as some programs offer a percentage of the sales price as their assistance amount instead of a flat amount. And when we offer to eligible listings, it is good to keep in mind that both the property and the buyer must qualify for DPA. And to determine that eligibility, we look at property location and sales price, and then compare that to the coverage areas and sales price limits for programs in your market. Currently, 86.6% of the FMLS listings are eligible for DPA, and that is such a huge volume of your for sale inventory. So let's talk about some of the common program requirements. And all of these programs share some basic universal requirements. For example, they are only for owner-occupant buyers. These are not going to be programs for vacation homes or investment properties, although in some markets, like I said before, there may be assistance available to buyers who are looking to purchase multi-unit properties up to 4 units, but there is a stipulation that they have to occupy one of the units. They all do still require some minimal investment from the buyer as well. And this can be a monetary investment, which could be like 1% of the purchase price, or maybe $500 or $1,000. But the buyers are also investing time, specifically by completing their homebuyer education course, which buyers typically have to complete in order to qualify for a DPA. Those courses prepare them for the home buying journey and also for successful long-term homeownership. We're going to talk a little bit more on home buyer education classes later as well. And of course, keep in mind, these aren't cash buyers. We're talking about buyers financing their home with a mortgage, so they have to qualify for a mortgage as well. And with those universal requirements in mind, let's take a look at the 3 most common types of homebuyer programs. Actually, I'm so sorry we're not doing that. Those are old notes that I have in here from my last webinar with you guys. But what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the integration within your MLS now. So now that we've covered a few of the basics, let's go and dive deep into what you guys specifically get to see within your MLS. So we are integrated directly into the listings in Matrix and Paragon. The way it works is eligible listings are going to be tagged with the down payment resource icon you see here. The icon is going to appear on-market listings, single family detached, condos and townhomes, co-ops, 2 to 4 unit properties, manufactured homes, and there's no listing input field. DPR is all automated, so you don't have to do anything with that. Please note, though, that new listings will not show the DPR eligible logo until our system has time to pull the listing updates, which is done every night. So if a listing is posted today, you're not going to see it flagged as eligible for down payment if it's available for down payment until it has done our scan overnight tonight, and then you'll see it tomorrow. So when you are logged in to either Matrix or Paragon, look for our down payment resource button on eligible listings. You'll see these down payment buttons on agent reports as well as in your client portal. When you click on it, we're going to tell you or your client which programs are available for properties that they like the most. So for a look at how down payment resource is displayed in Matrix, here is the icon in the agent single line view. And I'll let you guys know that here in a few minutes, when I'm done showing you some slides of this, we're going to flip to doing a live demo of this. So I'm going to show you by navigating around in the MLS and show you examples of these live. But for the time being, here are some screenshots so that you can see that. So if you see this icon showing up on an eligible listing, if you click on that down payment button to view the programs that the property may be eligible for, you can also then see who the participating lenders are, how to complete the homebuyer education class, and some more options as well. Here is that same button on the agent detail views. So same thing here. If you click on that button, you're going to see all the available programs and all of their details, list of lenders that are approved by the program provider and so on. And your clients can also see this information. So when you send them listings, they can see if a listing they like is DPA eligible. And they can use the tool from that listing to enter a bit more information about themselves to see what both they and the property are eligible for. So it's like a matching system there between the property and the buyer. We also have what we call our down payment resource dashboard. This is where you can access all of your tools and resources, including Down Payment Connect, which we're going to discuss further in a moment as well. But that dashboard is accessible from the Matrix homepage under external links. Now, we're going to take a quick look at how down payment resource is displayed in Paragon. Here is the icon in the agent detail view. And remember, this is where you click to view the programs that the property might be eligible for. You can also see who the participating lenders are, how to complete that homebuyer education class, and other details within um, that button that you click on the detail view. While in Paragon, you can locate your down payment resource dashboard that we were just talking about a minute ago under resources, where you see that red rectangle. It says down payment assistance. That's going to get you straight to your dashboard. When you're at your MLS dashboard, you can get to that same down payment resource dashboard by looking under product directory. Okay, so now we're going to look at what that DPR dashboard looks like and what all you can do there. The down payment resource dashboard is where you will find all of the available tools that you have available to you as an FMLS subscriber. And remember, all of this is free. This is not something you have to pay for. You don't have to do anything to turn it on. It's actually waiting for you right now. So if you're following along live with me, you can click on these options here and you can locate all of this right now. You can locate your own landing page URL, which by the way is what you see on the screen with that red arrow pointing to it. So that's your URL. You can copy that. You can put that out there on social media and start to see if you can get some leads that way. But so that down payment connect link that we're talking about, this is where you come to find it, as well as instructions on how to get started. I'm going to leave this slide deck in a moment and we're going to explore everything live. But first, a couple of other important tools to note from this page. Our marketing resources page houses tons of graphics that you can use in your email campaigns, on social media, your website, anywhere that works for you. But make sure you add your Down Payment Connect link to help increase your business while educating more buyers about DPA. You can also have the down payment resource icon displayed on your IDX site. We are happy to help you and work with your IDX vendor to get that set up, but there are instructions that you can download in here, and I'll show you that in a moment. I'll show you the button to click on and all of that when we go to live as well. One of the other things I want to point out is a feature that I love, which is the ability to search for programs either using the name or you can do a search for your clients. Whether you're interested in learning more about down payment programs and their requirements, or if you're really just interested in seeing what's available, that information is in there and ready for you. So let's talk for a moment a little bit more about Down Payment Connect. I want to give you some additional details so that you can get started using this tool today. As soon as we're done with this webinar, I want you to feel like you can log in there and you can start using it. Again, it's free for all FMLS members. It is a lead generator and it's available right now for you to use on your website or any of those other marketing solutions that work best for you. Down Payment Connect is really a great way to start new conversations about home ownership by engaging and educating those new buyers, offering them a path to down payment help. It's great because it helps you generate those leads and it can enhance your web, email, and social marketing. And the way it works is buyers are going to search for programs using your personalized link. You can see the image on the left-hand side is just a screenshot of an example for the eligibility search page where they just fill out a few short questions or put the answers in for a few short questions and they're going to get results. And those results will then be emailed to you. So you'll be notified of their search. You'll have a list of their results as well as links within that email that you can click on to find more information. And then you're going to have their contact information right there in that email as a lead. They will also get an email. It's more of a confirmation email letting them know that the results have been sent to you and that you're going to be in touch with them soon to discuss further their next steps and their options there. But keep in mind that no one else is going to receive any of those leads. This goes to you and only you. They're not sold. They're not, given, their information's not given out to anybody else. It's just to you. And then another thing that I do just want to point out is that we're not trying to make loan officers out of you. So don't feel nervous or worried that you have to become some DPA expert here. Really, what our goal is to empower you with the information that you can distribute to your buyers to help them get into more homes. What you do from those leads is you have that interaction with them, but you lean on other professionals like lenders and loan officers that you might have relationships with, or the loan officer they're already working with. Give those programs to them and let them guide them from there, because that's what they're used to doing, is handling that application process from there and helping them to decide what program is going to be the best program for them. So now I'm going to switch from this deck, and I'm going to log in, or actually I'm already logged in, but I'm going to show you live some of this information. So when you are logged in and you're at your MLS, your FMLS dashboard here, if you scroll down, you're going to get to the product directory, right? So right here, you can click on down payment resource. This is going to get you straight to your down payment connect link that you can share, and all of those other options that we'll go into in a few minutes. But you can also go into your matrix and Paragon and all of that right here. If you click in matrix and you pull up a listing search, you're going to be able to see in this agent single line view, you'll find this down payment resource icon right here. Now I moved this over to the left here. You might have to scroll over to the right and find it, most likely amongst these others here. But if you want it more visible, just drag and drop it and move it over here. As you can see, this listing does not have that icon, which means that down payment is not available at that particular listing. So any of these, though, you can click on this icon right here and you can go straight to that eligibility search situation to see what all programs are available at this property. Okay. If you click on a listing, right? So if you click on a listing right here and you scroll down, you're also going to see that same icon right here under these images, right? It does the same thing. It's just two different views here so that you can see it in both different ways and have access to it. All right. I'm going to move over here to Paragon. Now you don't have this on this agent single line view. You don't have that ability to see that icon, but if you go into the listing, so let me pull one of these up. Let's see, right here. So you see this same image right here on the right-hand side of this, the photos, right? So that's where you're going to go to get to that. You can also, up here at the top under resources, right from in here, you can see down payment assistance. That's going to get you to your down payment connect page where you'll be able to find your customized URL that you can distribute and get leads with. Okay. And then I wanted to show you what the consumer facing option is here. So if they have this listing, if they're on the website and they have this listing pulled up, they're going to see a get down payment help button right here in this section. Okay. All of these options allow you or the buyer to pull up and see what programs are available specifically at this property address. And then the buyer can fill in their own specific information to see what programs are a good match based on that property and their income, their household size, and other details like that they can pull in there. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to open up the down payment connect option here. So let's get this pulled open here for you so you can get an idea of what this is going to look like. Okay, now keep in mind, this is just my demo account. So make sure you're not using this landing page that you see here. This is for me. You want to use the one that ends in your first name _ last name. So make sure that you're copying that. And you can go ahead and do it now. You can copy it, put it out in social media. If you put it out on social media and you get a hit, let us know. Drop it in chat or in the Q&A and let us know if you got any kind of leads or if you got any kind of comments on it. But we have a lot of marketing things on here that I'll show you in just a moment that's going to assist you in that process as well. So this link is what you're going to use. Send that out there, put it on your email signature. You can put it on your website. You can use it on Facebook, Instagram, all different types of social media that you can use to distribute it. If you want to change this link code where it shows your first name underscore last name, click on this button that says Down Payment Connect, and you're going to see Update Landing Page Link. And that's where you're going to be able to adjust that. Now, as long as whatever you're choosing is still available and it hasn't already been in use, then you can update that to whatever you'd like right there. This little blue and green house button always takes you back to this home page here. So that's what you can use to navigate back to this home page and click on other options here. So next, let's talk about marketing resources. So this is great for in conjunction with utilizing your landing page link. If you click on marketing resources, you're going to come to a page that has a lot of graphics that you can use. So you can hyperlink that URL right into these graphics. And once again, a great place to put that is in your email signature. Then that way, anybody that gets your email or anybody that they're sharing your email with and sending it out to, everybody that sees that email knows that down payment help is out there and they can click on that link and fill out that eligibility search, and you will then receive a lead with the results that were generated from that. If you need help figuring out and understanding how to link that to your email signature, we have that option right here. We also help you with linking it to your website. So you can either iframe it in your website, like you have a specific page dedicated to that so that they never have to leave your website at all. Or you can link it in your website by having a button either in the navigation bar or somewhere embedded within the verbiage in there that will send them straight to where that URL is, to that eligibility search. So you could do either of those, and we give you options and helpful information there. You can also scroll down and you can find social media images. These are already created and ready for you to use. You can add whatever message you want with any of these images, and you can put them out there on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of those. I also suggest following us on social media, and we'll talk about this a little bit more later. But if you follow us on social media, you can easily just share a post that we've put out there. Maybe it's going to be a post that has some really interesting facts about down payment, or maybe it's highlighting a specific down payment program in your area that you want to share or something like that. But you can share that. Just make sure every time you share something that we've posted, that in your own little blurb of information that you add to it, that you include that URL, the link that will get the home buyers to the page that they have to fill out that eligibility search, and you get that lead. You can scroll down here, you can find customizable flyers. These are great to leave at open houses. If you have a home that's on the market that down payment assistance is eligible at, this is great to promote that. That way, anybody that's coming to that open house can see that down payment assistance is available there, and they can utilize that to help purchase that home. There are also other marketing resources, videos you can share or watch yourself and just become more educated with some things about down payment assistance. But there's a lot that's in here under this marketing resources tab that can assist you. So I'm going to come back here now. So let's talk about the IDX option. So if you want to get DPR set up with this IDX integration so that it's showing up on your own listings. What it does is it pulls from what we're already doing within FMLS and adds that to your own listings. There is an extra step where you have to reach out to either your IDX website provider or vendor, your IT person, somebody that helps you with that. Give them these IDX setup instructions that can guide them on what they need to do to have that work and have that synced up. It's actually not a very difficult task, so they should be able to do it without any problems. But if they have questions or if they're running into any hiccups, reach out to us and have them reach out to us, and we're happy to help them from there. But this is such a great option so that the home buyers that are looking at your pages are able to see this down payment help as well. Okay, so let's look at a couple other quick things right here. So we have a DPR pricing tool. Okay, this is something that is really a really great idea for a few different use cases, and I'm sure you'll come up with even more than what I'm going to address here today, but I'm going to point out a couple of them. So what this is you can input any address. It can be a home that's on the market or not on the market. It could be a home that, as the listing agent, you're trying to see what programs or how many programs are going to be available at that property based on whatever the um, asking prices that you're going to market at, right? So whatever that asking price is, and you can type in the address, put in what you're thinking you're going to list that address at, that property at, and then you're going to immediately see programs populate for what the matched programs are. If you're trying to play around with this and trying to kind of figure out what that best starting price is for the property, you can play around with this estimated sales price, drop it by 10,000 or increase it by, 10,000 or so, and see if that adjusts the availability of these programs. And that might help you, because if you want to be able to use this as a marketing tool, letting buyers know that this property has down payment assistance available at it to get more interest stirred up, then that's a great way to make sure that you're within purchase price limits and things of that nature in that area that will still have down payment assistance available for it. So, on another note, another option for using this pricing tool is, say you see a property pop up in the MLS as a new listing today. And like I said earlier, it's not going to be flagged with our DPR little house icon or show you that down payment is available at it until our system processes overnight tonight, which means you won't see it till tomorrow. And maybe you have a buyer that you think this property would be perfect for and you want to send it to them, but you know that they need some down payment assistance help. You can come in here, type in that address and what that estimated sales price is, and instantly see if it's going to be flagged tonight to see. And you'll be able to see immediately what programs are showing up right here on this tool that would be a good match with that property. So then that can help you kind of get a little bit ahead of the game and really be looking out for your buyers to be as quick as possible to help them take action fast if it's a property that really is a good match for them. So, couple ideas there for that pricing tool. One of the other things that I talked to you about earlier is you have the option to search programs in your area by name here. This is if you really have an interest or really a curiosity, but if you have an interest in becoming a little bit more savvy and knowledgeable about down payment assistance programs, some of the nuances of them, or maybe you want to hone in on a few popular programs in your area that you're familiar with, you can come in here and you can see an overview of details on that specific program. So, as an example, I'll pull up in this Arrive Home program. And I'm going to scroll through real fast so you can see just an idea of the types of information you can find in here. Excuse me. You're going to see a program overview, which is kind of like a quick snapshot of some of the most important details or the most unique details about this program. So it's a quick overview here of information. You're going to see the terms. You're going to see what the borrower eligibility needs to be. If they have to do a home buyer education course, as an example, right here, that's not required for this one, right? What the minimum credit score might be for this program provider, right? Now, keep in mind, the lender might have a different credit score requirement for the loan than what the down payment assistance provider has. So they'll want to make sure they talk to their lender about that as well. But property eligibility, so location, where can this program be used? and what types of properties can it be used for, right? The application requirements, closing requirements, things like that. Some of these details are going to be a little bit more specific for the lender portion for what they need to do on their end, but you can read through and you can find out as much as you'd like about these specific programs, because all that information is here. It's right at your fingertips, and you're welcome to dive in and become a more knowledgeable DPA expert as an agent. So it's up to you. But once again, we're not trying to make, loan officers out of you. So you don't have to do that, but it's there. Um, okay, so there are also a few other buttons on here. I'm not going to dive into all of those today, but play around on here. You can find like education, so that if you want to join in some of our other webinars, we offer some webinars that are not FMLS specific, that can assist you as well. If you want to hop on there and join some of those, they're free and you can learn from those. But there's a lot of information in here you can play around with. But those are the main things I wanted to point out to you right here. So quickly, I want to show you a couple of different ideas for how some people are utilizing this down payment connect option. So Suncoast Realty Solutions is one of the options. You can see right here at the top on their navigation bar, if you hover over buy, you see down payment assistance. What they've done is they've made it so that this button, as soon as somebody clicks on it, means that they're going to be taken to their eligibility search page, where that buyer can fill out the eligibility search information, the questions, and they'll receive a lead based on that, right? So it's very simple. They just have it under that navigation and have it instantly take them to it, right? Here's one where they decided to dedicate a page, kind of just letting people know that down payment assistance is out there. And there are a couple of calls to action. It's a very short, this is literally the entire page. It's very quick. So they didn't invest a lot of time. You don't always have to put a lot of time into it. You can choose to do that, but this is an example where they didn't, but yet they still have a page dedicated to it. And you can click on either of these options to be taken to that eligibility form. Here's one. This is for a lender, but still yet a good example of how you can have something tied to your page if it's your specific page. Maybe it's an overview of information about you, and you want to put under your image, under your name, your introduction, something that leads people to know that you are aware of down payment assistance and that down payment help is out there. And if they click on this image or click on check your eligibility or some sort of hyperlinked text that you have in here, whatever you want to do, then that will take them straight to that eligibility search form. And once again, as soon as they fill it out and submit for those results, you're going to get an email as a lead and you can follow up with them on that. This is another loan officer version, but just another idea, right? So they're letting you know a little bit about Patrick, and you can scroll down. Oops. And you see down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. And this is just a hyperlinked image here that you can click on. The last one that I want to show you is one that's a little bit more lengthy, right? So this Richmond Region Realty decided to really invest some time and really be more educational to the home buyers. They've got a little video here that people can watch, but down below, there's a whole bunch of information specifically about down payment assistance. Excuse me. And in here, there are a few options you can click on, few call to action items here. You can click here to be taken to the eligibility search. In this paragraph here, you can click on program search tool, but all along their way, they're educating buyers, right? Letting them know that down payment assistance programs are out there. And if you want to search, here's another one, right? So it's letting them know a lot of information about down payment help. And if you want to take that approach and you want to become a little bit more educational to your buyers about it and give them some information, this is another example of how you can do that. So it's really up to you how much you want to utilize and invest time-wise into relaying information to the buyers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch back to this slide deck, and we're going to go into some new information here, and I'm going to wrap it up for you guys here pretty soon. So we did the live look. Now, I do want to let you know about our Down Payment Insiders page. We would love if you joined it. It is a fastly growing Facebook group called Down Payment Insiders, and we have about 13,000 members right now that consist of real estate agents, loan officers, housing counselors, and even DPA providers. And they're all discussing best practices with DPAs, first-time home buyers, working with lenders, learning from each other, marketing ideas. So much information is being um, relayed back and forth between everyone on this page every day. And it's up to you. You can listen in and learn and just kind of take a little bit of information from everyone, or you can participate in the dialogue and you can engage with your peers. It is also a really wonderful place to network and connect with loan officers that offer DPAs in your market. We see it every day, and I'm assuming I have not been paying attention to chat and Q&A because I've been too busy talking to you guys, but I am assuming behind the scenes we've had at least one person ask, where can I find a lender and a loan officer that is savvy and familiar with DPAs that I can partner up with? Because that's the question we always get from agents. Every day we get that question. This is a great place to find those and kind of hype up those connections a little bit. So, like I said, the number one question we get from agents is, how do I find a loan officer that works with DPA programs? So, that Facebook group I just mentioned can be a great resource, but here are some other recommendations I have for you. You can use Down Payment Resource. We include participating lender information for each program in our database, and you can find that information in the program links within your lead emails. So as those lead emails come to you, if you want to click on a program name, it's going to bring open that page, and one of the options is to find that approved lender list. Now, keep in mind, that's not our list of approved lenders. That's the approved lender list for that specific program provider. So that list is going to vary from one program to another. But that's a great way to start with trying to find some contacts that you can reach out to and strike up some good relationships there. You can also check with program providers and get more involved, like attend networking events or attend information sessions or teach a home buyer class. Those ways are definitely going to help you get a little bit more connections that way. Also, make sure to check with your peers or your broker and see if anyone has recommendations for loan officers in your area that can help. Now, you'll want to make sure that if you're not as familiar with DPAs and you're newer to this part of the lending world, make sure you lean on somebody who is really savvy with them and they can really help you and take the lead when you're referring a buyer to them. Okay. And remember, really, DPA customers become customers for life. Most cases, if somebody's using down payment assistance, a lot of times, first of all, they don't even know down payment assistance is an option until either their agent or their lender is telling them about it. And so if you're able to be the hero to them, that in that very early part of their journey, when they're just dabbling in there and starting to allow themselves to think that homeownership might be a possibility for them, and yet they're teetering on the edge of thinking, well, I don't have enough down payment for it. I don't think it's going to be an option for a while. And you're able to say, hey, there are programs out there for people just like you, tons of programs and tons of money out there to assist people to get into a home without a big down payment. Then they're going to remember that and they're going to refer you for the rest of time. And they're also going to come back to you if they want to purchase another house later on, whether it be they're moving and they want to, increase to a bigger home for an expanding family or downsize, and look into a different home, or maybe they want to get an investment property. They're going to continue to come back to you because you were the person that gave them information that other people didn't. You were the person that made them realize that that's a reality that is possible for them when they thought that it might not have been. So these customers become customers for life. So make sure you're telling their stories and help them. And they're going to refer you to family members, friends, strangers on the street that they happen to just talk about their house that they love, whatever it may be. Okay, I've thrown up on the screen here our contact information, info@downpaymentresource.com. And in the background, Lori, can you add that to chat if you haven't already so that they can copy that? But feel free to reach out to us with any questions you may have after this webinar ends, whether it's later today or in the coming days and weeks. If you ever run across anything that you need some help with, that's what we're here for. We're happy to help you and your clients to find that assistance that they are needing. And then thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to some live Q&A. Lori, Will, are there any questions that I should address or any trends that we should make sure to jump into? And oh, real quick, before we go into that, I do want to remind everyone, especially for the ones who joined after we started the webinar, I want to let you know that we are recording this and that will be distributed to you. It'll probably take a couple of days for you to receive that in your email, but be on the lookout for the recording. Okay, back to you, Will and Lori. Any things that we need to discuss?
It's been a really quiet bunch, but we did have 2 questions come in. The last one was just to confirm we can determine if our listing is eligible for assistance on the DPR pricing tool page.
On the DPR pricing tool page. Okay, so you can't, okay, so for the pricing tool page, that's where you're going to be able to find, so let me go back here. I'm going to go back to that slide just so that I can clarify that a little bit for you. So this DPR, this pricing tool page, if this is what you're talking about, this is where you get that URL and you can, it's not tied to a specific listing right here. This is more specifically for the buyer to fill out. However, if they put in a specific address, it's going to tie to that listing, but they can also just put in an area. So like a city or a county that they're wanting to move to, and that's going to give them all of the different options available for those locations. Then you have it so that it's tied within your actual listings, whether it's, agent detail view, single line view, whatever you're looking at. But this option, if you click on here, the programs that pop up and generate as options are going to be tied specifically to that listing. So all the programs available at that address. So I hope that that helped answer your question. Let me know if I didn't quite get that right. So,
And then we had another
how
question.
does
Will
it
you,
take?
I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
Another question was, will you show us where this is in GMLS Connect MLS? So did we cover that? Are we good, Denise? I'm assuming we are, but.
Let me double check that because, hold on. Let's look here. So we have Matrix and the one home option, Matrix here, Paragon. I don't think that I have that one. So I'll have to look into that. Will you email us at that info@downpaymentresource.com just so that I can dig into that after the webinar and get that for you? And then let's see. Thank you. I see that you said you will. Thank you so much. And then, oh.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
Tracy,
So,
Will here.
yeah.
I think that question about GMLS was referencing their own specific MLS, so I don't think it was covered here.
Okay, gotcha. So it's a different one. Okay, that makes sense then. I was confused there. Hold on. I don't know what GMLS is. So that's where I was getting confused. Okay, so if that's a different MLS than FMLS, then we might not have a relationship with them. So that may be part of the issue there. So you can still email us afterwards, and I'll help you, and we'll get that figured out. But I think that that's all of the questions that we're still hanging out. Yeah, I already answered that one. Anybody else have any other questions? No? No? Oh, wait. How can we know if a specific property is eligible? Okay, so that's a great question. So if a property is eligible, let me get back here to my slide deck. Oops, go back the wrong way here. If a property is eligible, you're going to see this icon here, whether it's on the detail view, or if you're in the agent single line view in Matrix, you can see it. So you'll be able to see that in Matrix as an agent single line view. If it has this little money sign icon with a blue check mark, that means that property is eligible for down payment assistance, that there's at least one program available at that property, most likely several programs available. And then once again, you can see it if you have the detail view open of the listing. If down payment is available at it, you're going to see that money sign icon either under the image or to the right of the image, such as in here in Paragon. So look for that little money sign logo on any of the listings and you'll know that down payment is available there. Okay. I think that that's it. So thank you all so much for joining us today. If you think of any other questions after we're done, feel free to email us, and we'll be happy to assist you. I really hope that this tool is helpful to you. I'm going to go ahead and get back to this last page so that you can see our contact information again, so that you can make sure to jot that down if you need to. But feel free to reach out to us in the future. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we look forward to talking to you soon.